For the next few weeks, we will be celebrating Advent. Advent is a special celebration and contemplation of the coming of Jesus Christ. We Christians get to celebrate this special season in anticipation of the coming of the one true King. Advent literally means arrival or coming. And during Advent season, we remember and rejoice in Jesus' first coming to save his people, while at the same time long with anticipation and expectation for his return. Advent centers on Jesus, the saving Son, and he alone is the one true King, and he is coming. Isaiah 9:6 says this, "For to us a child is born, for us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, and Prince of Peace." Jesus' followers long for the King. For to us a child is born, for us a son is given. These few words from Isaiah tell us that the King is coming, but in the form of a child. And this is not what was expected when God promised a king, but God did send his Son to be our deliverer. Jesus' followers long for a deliverer, and we need that deliverer because we are broken and dead in our sins. We need to be rescued or delivered from our sins. But this is something that we cannot do. God, however, used Isaiah to make a promise that the King is coming. He will be our deliverer. He made a great sacrifice by sending his Son, Jesus, to pay for our sins once and for all, just as he had promised, because God always keeps his promises. Isaiah goes on into even more detail about this King who is coming. "And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace." From these few words, we know a lot about Jesus, including that he is mighty and full of peace. And we, as Jesus followers, long for a King who is both full of wisdom and full of might. As sinners, we often choose to follow our own desires, and that leads us on a path of destruction. It makes us foolish. We cannot see the plan that God has for us because of our sin. However, Jesus, being fully God, is the source of wisdom. He is the beginning of all things, and his wisdom is infinite. Jesus rules in wisdom. Isaiah also refers to Jesus as a mighty God. We know that the good leader or ruler must have wisdom, but also the might to carry out his plans. Our God is both wisdom and might, and we long for his rule here on earth. We also know that God's rule is eternal and full of peace. Look at this in Isaiah. "And the government will be upon his shoulders." Jesus' followers long for the King that is both eternal and peace. Today, the thought of a peaceful moment or peace, even for a short amount of time, seems very foreign and unlikely. But our hearts long for peace. Jesus, as King, provides that peace now and forever. He is the one true King and is in control of all things. He is the Redeemer and has the authority to rule our hearts. We no longer have to war with God because of the work that Jesus did on the cross. This peace is eternal. As you think about Advent this season, let's approach it expectantly, longingly, praising God for sending his Son, but also longing for his return, because the King is coming.